from left to right. So we will scan the characters from left to right, and then this R stands for rightmost derivation. Okay, this R stands for rightmost derivation. In SLR parser, so what is a SLR parser contains? SLR is nothing but simple LR parser. S stands for simple LR parser. In simple LR parser, we consider that LR of 0 items. We are not adding any item to each and every production item set construction. LR of 0 items that we constructed. But in CLR, we are in a position to construct LR of 1 items. We are in a position to construct LR of 1 items. Then what is the difference between SLR and then CLR as a basic level? Okay, so in the SLR parsing table, we identified that conflicts. On a single entry, we identified that both shift and then reduce actions. So we are getting a conflicts. So actually parsing actions are any parser has the actions called, one is a shift, second one is a reduce, and third one is an accept, and fourth one is another. So in the parsing table, we are defining that all the errors are unfilled entries. All the unfilled entries in the parsing table is treated as an errors. Here we don't have any issue. And when the parser is going to be accepting, if the string is matching to the grammar, then in such case only we are getting an acceptance case. In such case only we are getting an acceptance case. Then what about the shift and reduce? Shift and reduce. We don't have the conflict related to the shift. Okay, for example, in a single entry we are having that S5 and then S6. Okay, in the parsing table if you have, so that means either you need to be shift that shift 5 or shift 6 based on the priority we are moving. Okay, so generally the parser has two different types of conflicts. So one is a shift reduce conflict or reduce conflict. Okay, these are the two different types of conflicts that we have. Okay, and majority of them feeling that either shift conflict is also available or not. So this everything is available in the shift reducer parser. Shift reduce conflict or reduce conflict or shift conflict. Okay, so these are the three different types of conflicts that are available in the parser. Three different types of conflicts available. So that's we will see in the error recovery part. Of the parsers. Okay, now here in the SLR parser construction, we identified that in a parsing table. We are having an entry called, so one time we are having a shift entry and another time we are having the same cell having an option called reduce option. So here we are facing an issue. Okay, so this issue is occurred because of that follow symbols of that reduction. So how we represent that reduction in the SLR parser? So recap the previous sections. In each and every item set, is there any production dot is reached to the end of the production? If it is reached, then the production left side symbol we identified, then follow of that symbols we identified, and for that follow of that symbols we need to be add that production as a reduce in the parsing table. That's we have done in the parsing table. Okay, is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now in the CLR parser, so in the SLR parser also, we identified that one second, yeah, is my screen is okay? In the SLR parser, we identified the construction of first the steps that we used is nothing but first one is construction of augmented grammar. After that augmented grammar, what we have seen, closure sets that we are identified. After that go to part, and after that parsing table. After that derivation. These are the steps that we followed. So these are the things that we have done in the construction of SLR parser. These 5 that we have done. Okay. I'm repeating once again. These 5 that we have done in the SLR parser. Your voice is not comfortable. Can you speak loud? Repeat. Is my voice is comfortable? Yeah, in the SLR parser that we have done or not, augmented grammar, closure property, goto property, parsing table and derivation. Okay, so in the same manner in the CLR also we need to be, in the CLR parser also we are in a position to construct the augmented grammar. Okay, so augmented grammar we are in a position to construct, and then closure property we need to be identify, and then go to property, and then parsing table, and then followed by derivation. But here it is a difference that we have. So each and every time we need to be add an extra item. That extra item is nothing but LR of 1 item. So that we need to be do. Okay, so that's how we can do that. That I will tell you. Okay, for example, so when you are identifying in SLR parser, when we are identifying the production call, for example, if I am defining a production is, so E tends to E plus T. For example, E tends to E plus T or T, it is available, and then T tends to T star F or F, it is available, and then F tends to open parenthesis E closed parenthesis or ID. So if the grammar is available like this, so each and every time when we are identifying one of the item set I naught, for example, some item set I naught contains the production call E tends to E dot plus T. Okay, so in this item set, to move the dot towards the one position towards the right side direction, then we are applying that go to of that I naught on plus if we taken, then we are adding the production E tends to E plus dot T, and then followed by T replaceable production that we have seen. Each and every time we are applying the closure property like this only, each and every time. Okay, each and every time we are applying the property like that. So in the augmented grammar, whatever the T replaceable production that we have, that we need to be add here also. T replaceable production is nothing but, so T tends to T star F, so that is nothing but T tends to dot T star F, and then T tends to dot F, and then F tends to dot open parenthesis E closed parenthesis. Like that we have done that procedure. Okay, so the same steps here also we are doing. Okay, I will take an empty sheet. One second, I will take an empty fresh sheet. Yeah, see here. Here, for example, here I am defining the grammar is S tends to small c capital C, and then C tends to. Okay, so sorry, the grammar will be S tends to CC, and then C tends to small c capital C, or C tends to D. This is a production, for example. So what is an augmented grammar for this one? What is an augmented grammar for this one? S dash tends to S. Okay, so this is the step 1, augmented grammar construction. After that augmented grammar, then we need to be cross check that closure property. So when you are identifying the closure property, you need to be assume the productions in a particular item set is in the form of, so it tends to alpha dot b beta. Okay, so it tends to alpha dot b beta. So what is the meaning of here alpha and beta? What is the meaning of alpha and beta? So which one is a terminal and which one is a non-terminal? Which one is a terminal and which one is a non-terminal? So here, what about the B point of view? B. B is a non-terminal. Okay. So in this case, in such case, okay, in particular item set I0 or some ix state, A tends to alpha dot b beta comma A is an item, and we identified that after the dot B is a non-terminal, and we identified that beta is another production. Beta tends to gamma is a production available in the augmented grammar. Then we need to be add B tends to dot gamma to this production, this item set. Okay, as per the closure property, after the dot immediately is it may be a terminal or non-terminal that we need to be identified. So here we identified that it is a non-terminal. So in the augmented grammar we identified that one of the production B tends to gamma is a production. Then we need to be add to the present item set B tends to dot gamma. Not only that one, you need to be put a comma, and we need to be identify the first of beta and then A. So don't consider that comma. Okay, so you need to be identify that beta symbols and then A symbols, compute that first of beta A, whatever the symbols that we have identified, that symbols we need to be add here. For example, so here if we identify that first of beta A is nothing but a small b, then add that small b for this production. Because of the dot immediately B we have. For B replaceable productions, we need to be identify this beta A symbols, and this beta A first symbols is going to be added to the B replaceable productions. Okay, for B replaceable productions you need to be add that first. Like that you need to be recursively cross checked. So initially what is the symbol that we need to be add initially for the first production? You need to be add the A is nothing but dollar. For the first production you need to be add the dot is like this, dollar is like that. Okay, so now we'll see with the closure set construction. So when we are going to be considering the closure property on, so augmented grammar s dash tends to dot s. By default for the first production we need to be add dollar. For the first production dollar only. So that means that the item sets contains s dash tends to dot s comma dollar. After that dot what we have? Yes, what are the S replaceable productions? We have only one production that we have. S tends to dot capital C. So these are the production that is available in the augmented grammar. Okay, so here I am repeating S dash tends to, the production is S dash tends to dot S comma dollar. So this is the production. Now you need to be assume this production is in the form of A tends to, you need to be assume this production is A tends to alpha dot B beta comma A. So what is a beta A here? What is the beta A symbols? What is the beta A symbols here? So beta is an epsilon and A is nothing but, here beta is not available. Okay, so epsilon dollar, epsilon and then followed by dollar. So what is that symbols? Dollar itself only. Yes or no? So these are the beta A symbols. Now you need to be assume that first of dollar, first of terminal is always terminal itself only. Are you getting or not? We identified that beta A symbols are epsilon followed by a dollar, that is nothing but dollar itself. So then compute that first of beta A. First of dollar is nothing but a dollar. Okay. So for S replaceable productions, so here the S replaceable productions we have S tends to dot capital C. For S replaceable productions, this first of beta A whatever we have, that first of beta E is added to here. Okay, here what the symbol that we need to be add? What is the symbol that we need to be add? Dollar we need to be add. Okay, so cross check the item set. So here we added dollar. So after that immediately we identified that after the dot immediately what is that one? So is a C is a terminal or non-terminal? So what about the non-terminal C replaceable productions that we have as per the augmented grammar? So as per the augmented grammar, I am going to be zoom out. Okay, so here you can identify the grammar. So C tends to dot small c and then capital C, and then C tends to dot small d. So these are the C replaceable productions. So now once again we need to be assume this production is for C replaceable. For this C replaceable production, you need to be assume that the first of beta A tends to, so what is the A tends to alpha dot B beta format, you need to be assume. Okay, so now I am representing A tends to alpha dot B beta A. So what is the beta A symbols here? Beta A symbols, capital C and then dollar. Then what about the first of? Beta A? What is the first of beta A? What is the first of capital C? So that is nothing but small c or d. So these are the two symbols. Okay, for capital C replaceable productions, so we need to be add this first of beta A component related symbols to the C replaceable productions. We identified that C or D, two symbols identified, so either it may be C or D. So like that we need to be add. Okay, for C replaceable. And after that C replaceable productions, after that a dot, here what we observe, it is a terminal, and here also it is a terminal. If it is a terminal, no need to be cross check it. So then we need to be stop the procedure. Okay, we need to be stop that procedure, and we need to be make it as an item set. Okay, so we need to be make it as an item set and give that item state number as a I0. And your goal is to be move the dot towards the extreme right side direction. Okay, like that we need to be work on it. Okay, so on that I0 item set, what are the symbols that we can apply to move the dot towards the extreme right side direction? Yeah, repeat. Already the recording was started. Okay, not an issue. I think you are not having that access. So I'm not using. Already the recording was started. Okay, not an issue. Yeah. So after that I0 set, what are the symbols that we can apply? So we need to go to off on I0. What is the symbol that we can apply? S. If S is applied, then S dash tends to S dot comma dollar. Is it okay? Is there any S symbols in the right hand side of the I naught set item? No. Is it matched with any one of the item set? Any one of the item set? No. So I naught is different. Okay, that is not matched. Then give that new item set number I1. Okay, so after that once again, so on that I naught set we need to be apply the symbols called capital C, the next possibility. If capital C is applied, then S tends to capital C dot capital C comma dollar. Here after that capital C, after that dot, what is the symbol that we have? After the dot, non-terminal or terminal? Non-terminal. So what is a non-terminal replaceable production? C tends to dot small c capital C, and then C tends to dot D. Okay, C tends to dot small c capital C and C tends to small d. Okay, for these replaceable productions, you need to be assume that the production is in the form of A tends to alpha dot B beta comma A. So what is a beta A here? What is a beta A here in this point of view, in this production? Beta A in this point of view. So beta is an epsilon, and then A is nothing but dollar. So simply that is nothing but dollar. So what is the first of beta A? First of dollar. First of dollar is nothing but dollar itself only. For C replaceable productions, this first of beta A, whatever we computed, that first of beta A is added to the C replaceable productions. That is nothing but dollar is added. Is it okay, everyone? Yeah, repeat. For the first of epsilon you need to be consider, but so here the production is S tends to, one second, the production is S tends to C dot capital C comma dollar. So we need to be assume this production is in the form of A tends to alpha dot B beta. Actually beta is not available. Okay, it's not the meaning of an epsilon, it is not available. Okay, so if the symbol is not available, is it possible to consider epsilon? We feel that it is a null and we treated it as an empty and it is nothing but an epsilon. But in the grammar, is there any epsilon is available in this point of view? Okay, so this is A. I need to be identify that what is a beta, what is a A. Beta is nothing but, so if I observe beta is nothing but space and then followed by dollar. So actually it is not a space also. Here we don't have symbol. That's the meaning, not the space. So beta is not available, A is available. Beta is nothing but dollar itself only. Okay, for better understanding, for a student friendly, and okay, so here we don't have, that means that null means nothing. You need to be assume that epsilon dollar is nothing but you need to be give the, okay, so you need to be give that dollar only. That's the meaning. As per the regular expression, epsilon is added to the before or after anything. Okay, for example, if I am defining that A star, it is a single A, epsilon followed by single A, 2 A's and then 3 A's and then 4 A's, like that. So if you observe these 2 A's, between A to A, is there any possibility of an epsilon? Yes, we have that possibility, but we are not assumed. In the regular expression to finite automata, in that case we identified these epsilons. Okay, so actually in the productions here we don't have an epsilon symbol. That's why we are not considering. Okay, is your doubt is clarified? Yeah. Shall I proceed to the next step, or any yeah? Yes. Okay, so in your point of view, these are the C replaceable productions. I am not getting your doubt. Can you repeat once again? Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, I am repeating once again. So in the I0 set, we identified that the first of C. So for this production, okay, please remember that point. So these symbols are added. This C or D is added because of the previous production. Because of that previous production, but these symbols are added because of this production. Okay, you need to be add the production from an augmented gamma. C tends to dot C capital C. From the augmented gamma, you need to be add this production, but beta A first, the second component is always added because of the previous production. Because of the previous production only. Okay. Yeah, this is an I0 set, item set. Okay. For this C replaceable production, we identified that here beta is nothing but nothing, and A is nothing but dollar. Beta is nothing but dollar. Dollar is added for these two replaceable productions. Okay. After that, what is the here after the dot terminal? After the dot terminal. So if the terminal is occurred, no need to be cross check it. Okay. No need to be cross check it. Is it okay? Then make it as a new item set and cross check that is the item set is matched with any one of them. Is the item set is matched with any one of them? Cross check it. No. Then give the new item set number I2. Then give the new item set number I2. Okay. So after that, then what is the possibility? Go to off on I0. We can apply small c. So if C is small c is applied, then C tends to small c dot capital C or C or D. Is it okay? Give me quick response. It is almost 8:40. We have only 10 minutes of time only. If not, then I recap. So after that dot, what we observed after that dot? Capital C. Okay, now non-terminal replaceable productions are capital C tends to small c capital C, and then capital C tends to small d. So these are the non-terminal replaceable productions. Okay, so in this production, so you need to be assume this production is in the form of A tends to alpha dot B and then beta. Here it is A. What is a beta A here? Beta is not having, and A is nothing but either C or D. What is the first of terminal? First of C or first of D? First of terminal is always terminal itself only. For C replaceable productions, we need to be add the first of beta A, that is nothing but C or D here. Is it clear? Okay, so now after that dot, newly added productions are C tends to small c and C tends to small d. So here after the dot, we identified that is a terminal, so no need to be cross check it and terminate that steps and give the new item state number, or if it is matched with any one previous one, then give that state number. Is it matched with any one of them? No, it is not matched. Then give the new item state number I3. Okay, so next on that I0, the next possibility is nothing but D. So go to off on I0. If D is applied, then C tends to D dot and then followed by either C or D. So first production as it is. After that first production, then okay. So if you are observing any production from the item sets, the production is as it is. You need to be take. After that, if there any adding for that production, you need to be compute that beta A. Okay, so here the D is reached to the end of that production. Okay, it is not matched with any one of the item set, then give that new item set number I4. On I0, if applied yes, we move to I1. On I0 if C is applied, we move to I2. On I0 if C small c is applied, I3 we moved, and I0 D is applied, I4 that we moved. So which state that we need to be cross check it now? Now we need to be cross check which state. So I2, because I1 is already, the dot is reached to the end of that production. Okay, so we need to be cross check that I2. Okay, yeah, cross check. On I2, go to off I2 on which symbol? Capital C. If capital C is applied, S tends to C and then C followed by dot comma dollar. Okay, is it matched with any one of the item record? So no more symbols are added. Is the C tends to, S tends to capital C dot dollar. Is it matched with any one of the item set? No. Then give the new item state number, that is nothing but I5. Then give the new item state number I5. Then next, go to off on I2, we need to be apply small c. If small c is applied, C tends to small c dot capital C comma dollar. So here after the dot what we have? It is a non-terminal. What is the non-terminal replaceable productions that we have? C tends to dot small c capital C, C tends to dot D. Okay, what are the beta A components here? Alpha this one, and beta is nothing but, B is nothing but capital C, and then beta is not having, and A. Beta A is nothing but dollar. First of beta A is nothing but dollar. So that first of beta A is dollar is added for these productions, for these two productions. Okay, is it matched with any one of the item set? Cross check it. Is this matched with any one of the item set? Is it matched with any one of the item set? No. So I3 is different, and then presently we are writing I6 is also different. After that I5 we are writing that I6 is different. Both are different, not the same. Okay, both are not the same, because in I3 the second component is CRD we have, but in I6 dollar is have. Okay, both are different. You need to be exactly same. If it is exactly same, then only you need to be give that state number. Otherwise you need to be give the new state number only. After that C, then on I2, then you need to be apply, go to off on I2, on D is applied, then C tends to D dot comma dollar. Okay, so this is not matched with I5 also. Sorry, I4. This is not matched with I4 also. In I4 we have CRD, we have the second component, but this is not matched. The second component is dollar. So then give the new item state number I7. Then give the new item state number I7. That's enough. I do is over. Then move on to the I3. So on I3, go to off. On I3 we have the possibility of capital C applicable. Then capital C tends to small c, capital C dot comma CRD. Okay, is it matched with any one of the item set? Is it matched with any one of the item set? No, it is not matched. Then give the new item set number I8, and then cross check that if we apply small c, we are getting the same C. Go to off. On I3, if we apply small c, we are getting that same I3 only. If we apply D, then we can get I4. Cross check it. Cross check that symbols. Is it same or anything changes? Same. So next, I3 is over. I4, on I4 we don't have the possibility to apply, and move on to the next item set I5. I5 was also dot is reached to the extreme right side direction, no need to be applied. Next move on to the next I6, move on to the next production, next item set I6. On I6 you need to be apply the symbols, so that is nothing but go to off. On I6 what is the symbol that we can apply? Capital C is applied. On I6 capital C is applied. On I6 capital C is applied. Then what is the possible production that we can get it? C tends to small c capital C dot comma dollar. Yeah, repeat. Yeah, repeat, Nikhil. Yeah, nothing. Okay. Is it matched with any one of the item set? Can we consider I8 and then I8 and present state both are the same? Present state. Can I give this state as an I8? Can I give? Because the second component is varies. So then you need to be give that new item state number. So what is that item state number? I9. Okay. So and then move on to the, if small c is applied, we will get the same state I6 itself only. On I6 if small c is applied, we can get it the same I6. Cross check here. Suppose if D is applied, which state that we are getting? Which one? C tends to D dot comma dollar. Which one? I7 on I6. Okay. And move on to the I7 item set. I7 dot is reached to the extreme right side, no need to be cross checked. And I8 the dot is reached to the extreme right side direction, no need to be cross checked. And move on to the I9. I9 is also dot is reached to the item set. Okay, dot reached to the extreme right side direction. And move on to the I10. I10 we don't have, so that's about the item sets. We don't have any another item sets. Then we need to be stop that procedure and announce that. So this is a construction of LR of one item set. This is a construction of LR of one item sets. So what is the one here? One item sets. So for every production we are adding one symbol. Okay, for example here I am considering that C tends to small c comma capital C dot CRD. Okay, so in this we are adding one extra symbol. Okay, this symbol is nothing but one. Adding an extra item for each and every item set, that is nothing but LR of 1. Okay, so that's about the LR of 1 item set construction. Okay, still if you have any clarification, then tell me.